In this video, we're going to talk about 9 things you need to know before you buy a Shure SM7B. The SM7B is super popular right now for podcasters, video podcasters, and content creators. It's also a super popular mic for musicians. And in this video, we're going to be talking about several different features and things that can come up when using this mic so that you're prepared before you make the purchase of one. The first thing you need to know about the SM7B is that it's a low sensitivity microphone. This means that you need to be as close as possible to get the best possible sound. And unlike a shotgun microphone or a condenser microphone, it's not designed to be far away from the subject. It's designed to be up close. This is a really nice feature though, because it does a great job at blocking off unwanted noise, as it's got a great cardioid pickup pattern. This means that it picks up what's in front of the microphone and rejects sound from behind into the sides. This is fantastic for use in a noisy environment where there's AC noise or other low rumbles, because it won't pick them up quite as badly as a condenser microphone will, and it'll get you that super crisp sounding audio. The second thing to know about the SM7B is that the proximity to the microphone and positioning of the microphone will greatly affect the sound that you get out of it. So if you're right up on the microphone like this, you'll get a super punchy low end sound. But if you back off the microphone more, then the sound starts to change a little bit. Again, if the microphone is pointed straight at you like this, the sound will be different than if the mic is more off to the side like this, which is really interesting to me because I see a lot of videos, people have the microphone off to the side, or they're not talking directly into it and they're not able to take advantage of the full sound quality of the mic. The microphone really needs to be as close as possible to your mouth and at a good angle to ensure that you get the best possible sound quality out of it. The third thing to know about the SM7B is you don't need phantom power to use it by itself. It's a totally passive microphone, so all you need is number 4, a lot of gain. This microphone requires anywhere from 50 to 60 decibels of clean gain in order to get it to a good usable level. So if I'm using a different audio recorder or mixer to use this microphone with, I just Googled that model and I look up how much clean input gain it has to find out if this microphone is going to be able to work well with it. If the device doesn't have between 50 and 60 decibels of gain, then it's probably not going to work well. The next thing you might not know is that you do or don't need a signal booster. And this goes back to the last point of looking for 50 to 60 decibels of clean gain. And even if you have that amount of gain, if that's at the top end of what the device is able to support, you probably want to go ahead and pick up a signal booster like a Cloud Lifter or an SE Electronics Dynamite booster, which then when you use these, you do need phantom power because these are active devices that require the 48 volts of phantom power to add power to the booster. Then the signal booster gives that additional gain to allow you to get to that 50 to 60 decibels that are needed to fully take advantage of the sound quality of this microphone. The next thing to know is you need a good stand to use this microphone with. I really like using it with the boom arm like this Rode PSA-1, but you also can use a desktop style stand with a round base on the bottom. I like to get one that's not too tall because this microphone does have the yoke that holds it up a little higher. You don't want it to get in the way of your talent's face, especially if you're recording a video podcast. So try to get a stand that'll put it at a low height, but will give you enough adjustability that you can get it just below the mouth to get the best sound quality. I have links for some of my favorite stands and all these different signal boosters in the description below, so be sure to check those out. The next thing to know about this microphone is that the mount on it can be kind of annoying to deal with. It has a 5/8 mount that you tighten on to your stand, and as you tighten it, it gets tighter on the yoke so that the microphone doesn't spin as freely. But on a lot of stands like the Rode PSA-1, the threads can actually get in the way of the XLR connector on the microphone. So I really like using a quick release like this Gator Frameworks one I'm using right now because it gives more space for the XLR jack and the threads not to be in the way when you're adjusting and repositioning your microphone. It also makes it way easier to take the mic off and on a stand because you just pull the sleeve down and then the mic pops right off. And it's just the reverse to put it back on. You pull the sleeve down and you snap the microphone into place instead of having to unthread it every single time, which is a bit of a hassle with the SM7B. Number 8, the windscreens that you use can change the sound. I'm using the standard windscreen that comes on the SM7B right now, and it gives a great sound, but there's also a fluffier windscreen that comes in the box too, and that just reduces even more of the high end on it and gives a darker sound, and it also gets rid of more plosives. I have a whole video on the way that the different windscreens change the sound, so be sure to check that video out too when you're done watching this one. Lastly, the switches on the back. A lot of people wonder what the switches on the back of the SM7B are for. There's both a low cut and a presence boost. So the low cut just cuts from the low end, which does a great job at reducing boominess if you're right up on the microphone, or if you're using it on someone who has an incredibly low voice already, then I would recommend trying out the low cut. The low cut is also a great way that you can further reduce wind noise or low end rumble from an air conditioner if you're having issues with that. So try that out if you're having a muddy sound or if there's low end rumble. The second switch, the presence boost, opens the sound of the microphone up and makes it a little bit crisper. So that's a great way if your sound is a little bit dark and dull. It needs to be bright and stick out just a little bit better. But be careful with this switch, because if you use it on the wrong source, it can make the sound a little bit harsh. So be careful when you use the presence boost. So there's about 9 things you may or may not have known about the Shure SM7B. It's a legendary microphone and it sounds fantastic, but you need to know these things before you buy it so that you make sure it's going to work really well with your gear that you're already using. And if not, then you might need to get a signal booster in order to get that signal boosted to the desired levels. Also, be sure to try the different windscreens out that it comes with, because you may find that you like the sound of the thicker windscreen a little bit better than the stock one on this microphone. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any other questions about the SM7B before you buy one, leave a comment down below. And if you're interested in making a purchase of the Shure SM7B or any of the quick releases, signal boosters, or stands in this video, I have links for all the products I use in this video in the description below. So be sure to check those out, because if you buy something, it supports the channel at no extra cost to you. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for more tech content.